Smoke out!
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint locked down.
Frag out!
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours.
Tango down.
Hostile hunter-killer drone inbound.
Grenade out! Target
Smoke!
down.
Hardpoint lost.
Mm,
You're only 40 right now?
yeah.
Frag!
Hardpoint contested.
Yeah, I've done
Hostiles have
it
captured the
before, too.
hardpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hardpoint
I
is
could have.
ours.
I was doing something at the
Hardpoint
moment, so
identified. Capture the
didn't
objective.
really have like the chance to do it.
Hardpoint locked down. Be advised, hostile hunter-killer drone inbound. Hardpoint contested.
Frag out!
We lost the lead.
Need your
Hardpoint
honest
contested.
opinion about something because
Hardpoint
Excellence has been talking to me about like the team overall, right? And I had one of the yeah, I need your opinion on
Hardpoint is
something
ours.
because Excellence has been talking to me about the team and stuff like that, right? And like overall, like they're still making like, and I can say myself too, like I'm not just pointing the finger at anybody. Like I know I can like play
Hardpoint
better overall,
identified.
as a
Capture
player,
the objective.
and I think my mentality is a bit different from theirs when it comes down to like
Hostiles have the
just growing,
hardpoint.
like as a player and wanting to like play better like, overall. So their experience, they don't have like as much experience as I do, right? And that's where the majority of
Hardpoint contested.
um, the
Advised.
players kind of like lack this like experience overall. Like some of them are like new to the game. Like some of them like Ramen, he's like brand new. He only has like a couple of months under his belt. Some of the players like have like a year or two or whatever, and um, we're still missing like like trophy points, like as in like putting trophies down in general,
Friendly hunter-killer drone
and
deployed.
just stuff like little stuff like that, like not popping smokes, like operators just holding them long for, like holding on to them for too long and stuff like that. Don't know what they're holding.
Hardpoint identified.
Rotations
Capture the
have to
objective.
be reminded, like of rotations and everything. And he was telling me like,
Hostiles
okay,
have captured the
that's not a
hardpoint.
me problem. That's the team's problem. You know, it's like you can only say but too much to them when they pretty much don't listen to you. Right?
Smoke out!
Like if they want to keep
Friendly
like
predator missile
because they're new,
inbound.
like and I have a bit of experience and I know how to rotate. If they want to like be late in rotations and get cooked, like then that's on them. Like what I mean? Like you can also create backup classes or like per se like if they're not
Hardpoint
smoking, I
locked
can just
down.
like smoke things off
Hardpoint
myself
lost.
instead of like stressing myself out,
Frag out!
or like I carry like a trophy class if I know like the other team don't have it. War Machine because I pay attention to stuff like that. Like okay, like what ops have been used, like
Hardpoint is
who guys like
ours.
who's running Sparrow and stuff like that.
Hardpoint
Like
contested.
little things like that. I'm like very just like
Hardpoint contested.
okay,
Hostiles
Akis
have
has
the
running trophy on
hardpoint.
certain points. Like he said he had like trophies for smoke
Capture the
basically.
objective.
So I'm like okay, I don't. Again, I'm not bashing anybody else.
Smoke!
I just want to get good, like overall as a player, and I want to win, like and I feel like their mentality is different from
Hostile
mine.
hunter-killer drone
So
inbound.
I don't know. I feel like like, should I just go to a different team or should I just like rock things out with them and just try to progress with them, overall, because
Be
it's hard.
advised,
You know what I
hostile
mean? Like
hunter-killer
it's
drone
really hard
inbound.
to like kind of like direct players
Hardpoint
when they're
locked
constantly
in.
forgetting
Lost
stuff
the
or
lead.
they're just like um not as motivated as me.
Do you have a better team to go with?
Hostiles have captured the
No,
hardpoint.
I have had
Hardpoint is
offers. Well,
ours.
technically I did. Like I have offers. I've been having people come to me asking me like, am I a free agent or like, if I would like to join their team. Because
Okay. Cool.
I do stand out on the
Hardpoint
team. Like,
lost.
don't like and it's clear. It's very clear. Like, I know what I'm doing, like, majority of the time. But there's like
Capture
little
the
things
objective.
that are blocking me to get to T1 and I want to be a pro player, you know.
No, like, in my opinion, I
Hostiles
actually
have
wanted to
captured
talk
the
about
hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
either them making the same effort as you, or you go to a better team because you are performing really good. You are top fragging most of the time. You are trying to adapt certain teams, but at some point they are dragging you down because you can't perform at your best because you need to do pretty much everything at some point.
Yeah.
So it's like you need something better. You need teammates that are better than you. Not you being the only one that is good in that team.
Yeah.
Frag out.
Because I'm not talking only about mentality. Gunfight. I'm talking about the mentality. I'm talking about the reactions. I'm talking about the gameplays itself, the game sense and stuff.
Capture the
So
objective.
it's like they are trying. Yes, they are. They're trying to do something. That's okay. It's completely fine. The problem is that for what you want, is not enough.
Smoke out.
Yeah.
If you tell me this in January, I will say just stick with them and try to be good with that team because you have the time.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time, like 7 months to practice. But now, and you have only 2, basically.
Yeah.
So it is good. Yes, they are not as bad as they can be. Actually, they can be worse. But do you really think that you can be at least top 5 in stage 4 with them in an A?
Yeah, I honestly,
Hardpoint capture
the
the
way
objective.
we're performing right now, I highly I highly doubt it.
Smoke
You
out.
know, and Jay
Hardpoint
brought it up.
locked down.
Yesterday he said, you have high expectations of us, and I understand that. Like, he understands like overall like my mindset. He's like, but in reality, we're not gonna like
Hardpoint is
make it there.
ours.
And that's coming from a teammate. That's
Hardpoint
telling me like
hunter-killer drone
we're not going
inbound.
to make it. Like,
Hardpoint contested.
and that kind of like you know
Open your mind, actually.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, my teammate is telling me
Grenade
that we're
out.
not gonna make it to like, to a certain part where I want to like,
Hardpoint
I want to make
contested.
it to, and I'm working hard, to make it
Hardpoint
to,
contested.
That's the thing that you need to
Hardpoint
think on.
contested.
Okay,
Hostiles
as
have
for right now,
hardpoint.
we are talking about it. You have Chile,
Hardpoint locked down.
you have FA Mexico, you have
Hardpoint contested.
I'm Not, you have
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
the Revelos team. You know, how was it called? Like Revelo, Bay, Washi, Marchi. Hell, no Marchi. Those things, those players.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have 4 teams to beat. Now, there's not only 4 teams. There's more. Why? Because you can have another Mexican team. You have, like, for example, Laser. You have NGS. You have at least think to play it. Because right now there are doubts onto if you guys can actually qualify for stage 4. It's not only about qualifying for champ, it's also about qualifying for stage 4. So you need something better.
Yeah.
You have better offers of other teams. Better than your team right now. Do you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested.
Which team?
Hardpoint lost.
I've been offered by like TF1. I've been offered by actually. So
Yeah, for one, actually not that good, but at least if they're better than your team, it's okay.
yeah. Yeah, I have like other offers. I just I don't know.
My opinion, pick the best offer they have. The best offer with the best roster.
Hardpoint. Hardpoint contested.
Right now, your team already tell you. They might think of it, but they might not tell you that. They might try, yes, but that's not what you need. That's something that you can build for next year. Not for this one.
Yeah.
Not for this team.
Friendly hunter killer drone deployed.
Yeah, if you stay there, you're going to basically be frustrated at some point, missing opportunity, and that's not what you need. My opinion, like I said, just pick the best offer that you have with the best roster you have.
Bring it up.
This year, if you want.
Yeah, I just feel like
Hardpoint.
I don't know, like Excellent saw like my gameplay the other day, and he was like, "Why are you trying to just like do everything for your team?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's frustrating because I'm like, all right, I feel like I need to hop in hill, because we're not grabbing the hill. They're pushing out for kills and certain, and it's like messing with my timing, And I'm like, then they say something like, if I was to say something to them in game, it's like, oh, I'm either complaining or like, yeah, pretty much like complaining, right? I'm like, how am I complaining if I'm just trying to win the game? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we know we're messing up, but let us like work on our fuck ups. But it just keeps happening.
They don't have the mentality. They don't have the mentality of we need to fix things. They have the mentality of we are just chilling, and if you are killing the vibe, then you are not
Yeah.
as a game not going to help you at all, and for you to won't be in champs, for example, or say 5 something.
Yeah. I think the only two players on this team that actually like want to do it is Ramen and Rev. Those are like the only two players that actually like want to like push far, and they're actually putting in the effort to do things. You know, I don't think the other players are trying to.
If